Welcome back to episode 2 of Fork This City. I'm your co-host Josh Einbinder, joined alongside Gabby Martin.
Hello, my name is Gabby Martin, aka Instagrubs on Instagram.
If you missed our first episode, we were doing a deep dive on our belly reviews, our hot takes. We covered the corner store, we covered the famous gourmet grocer Meadow Lane, and today we have a whole new slate of hot topics for the people.
So, jumping into feedback from last episode, we are very well aware that my volume was a lot better than Josh's. I think sometimes females just figure it out faster.
Your mic was exceptional, and so I ended up ordering the same mic that you have just for
Yeah.
parity.
Everyone was like, Gabby sounds so good. Josh, I don't know.
You did sound very good. I will say I was jealous of your sound quality.
Yeah, so Josh actually ordered my mic. So he is going to have the same mic as me. We are going to figure that out. The other feedback we got is that we are really funny and we are like a good dynamic, which is essentially why we made this podcast. I think
Mhm.
we knew right from the bat we would be very compatible about how we talk about restaurants and we know we're pretty funny.
We do. We do know
And
that.
then lastly, feedback about the corner store is that the consensus is that we got seated at the loser table. That table smack in the middle of the front and the back is not for celebrities and people they want to show off our eating there.
And that hurts my heart because to me, I'm a celebrity. I really wanted to be put in that back room. We had a whole photo shoot at the corner store after our meal, and we went to that back room. I really wish we sat there.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the photo shoot. We could talk about that briefly because that was a funny part of the night. So we mentioned last time that the waiter can smell the desperation of us really wanting to be there. And after our meal, I don't know if it was him or another guy was like, "Do you guys want us to take photos of you here?"
He was like, "Do you guys want a photo?" And we were like, "Absolutely, we want to document this moment."
Right.
And so I remember we took a photo. The first photo we took was right next to the table, like against the wall. And then he's like, "Let's
Yes.
go to the back room." And mind you, the back room was completely empty. Like there were not a lot of people there when we were there at that time. So I was surprised it was so hard to get a reservation on a Sunday night at the corner store.
Right. And then he was like, "What about a picture outside in front of the
Which they were
sign?"
so dark. The photos came out so dark because it was 10 p.m. by that time.
So then the waiter then went with us outside to then take pictures of us outside. Josh will attach a clip maybe in our social media
Yeah.
posts about these pictures. They are horrible photos, but they're very funny.
They're funny and the guy was just honestly like you could just tell he was like so excited to do this for us. Like in a way that was making fun of us, not like happy to do it for us.
I don't know. It was weird. So we have pictures in the middle area, we have pictures in the back room, and then we have pictures outside of the store.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting experience, but I'm glad we have those photos and we documented the moment that we were able to get into the corner store. Let's move into our first topic of the day. We're going to be covering pet peeves in restaurants on a lot of our episodes, and today's pet peeve that we're going to talk about is when waiters and waitstaff do not write your order down. Now, Gabby, this is probably the biggest issue I have when I go to restaurants. Now, it doesn't happen a lot. I want to clarify. Most waiters write down orders. But what do I always say when we're out? Don't be a hero. It doesn't impress me at all when you're writing down the order or when you're memorizing the order. Write it down, get it right, be accurate. I don't want to have to deal with like, oh, this isn't my order, this isn't what I wanted. And a lot of people substitute things, right? Oh, I don't want this on it. I don't want this. I don't want this. I want this. Don't be a hero. Write it down.
Yeah, I agree. And the way I think about it is there can only be a negative outcome of this, right?
Mhm.
Either they memorize it and the order comes out right, and that does not lead us to tip them more. I've
No,
never tipped a waiter more because they memorized my order and then got it right. The only outcome that is memorable is that they then messed up the order.
exactly. But my issue is that I think where I get so frustrated is it's not impressive to me. I have a good memory. I can memorize a lot of things. It's not impressive to me if you're memorizing 4 or 5 orders. Like I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. Just do the right thing so that way the meal can move along properly.
And then it
Um,
makes us really stressed and anxious. Like
it
we start
does.
freaking out.
I
And
don't substitute a lot of things when I eat. I don't know if you do,
I
but
do.
I
Yeah, I
do know a
do.
lot of people, especially this is a weird thing at diners, like, like, can I get a fruit cup instead of a side of potatoes? And then can I put this in my omelet? Can I put that in my omelet? It's very complex. Some people have
I
very
think
complex
I
orders.
think every single person in my family substitutes one thing in their meal.
Surprisingly, because I don't eat like everything, I don't really substitute a lot of stuff.
We are a waiter's worst nightmare. But yeah, last thing about that is it's funny because it not only does it stress us out, sometimes, I don't know if you've had this experience, you ask them to write it down because you're just so bothered by it. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, I got it. I got it. That's even worse,
I
in
want
my
the people to
opinion.
just remember that my go-to phrase is always going to be "Don't be a hero."
Today, we are going to be talking about Il Cantinori. Il Cantinori is in Greenwich Village. It has a very great
Hmm.
reputation of being old school Italian vibes, great food. They filmed a Sex in the City episode there, and we were really excited to try it. And today we get to be haters a little bit, so this is going to be really, really fun.
This is
Um,
really our first review that we didn't really enjoy the experience. We had some criticism for the corner store, but overall it was a really fun meal and fun experience. But Il Cantonori was incredibly underwhelming for me.
mhm.
A true disappointment compared to what I've heard about the restaurant from friends, from people on Belly. The restaurant definitely did not live up to the hype.
And it has great reviews. So we're just going to jump right into it. So we walk in. Okay. We have a reservation. We get there and they start walking us to our table. And Josh just makes this assumption that we're going to like have a specific table that he sees. So he's looking at me. He's like, I hate that table. I'm not sitting there. And I was like,
I
all
don't
right.
I don't ever want to sit near the door, especially when it's cold out. And I thought they were going to put us kind of at the front where people are keep the people are the ingress and egress keep coming. I didn't want that. I wanted to be seated in the back, which ended up happening,
Right,
but that
right.
was
So
my
that's the
biggest
thing.
concern.
We're in there for 1 minute and Josh is already freaking out, complaining. And we end up passing that table, right? So that actually wasn't our table. And they lead us to this table in the back room, which is actually great vibes. But we get seated under this like giant tree, maybe plant. And
Mhm.
I don't know about you, the branches were touching me.
They weren't touching me. That table, I don't think was the worst table in the restaurant, but it wasn't my favorite. I didn't like that it was kind of right by where a lot of the people would come into that main room. There was
Mhm.
still a lot of traffic flow. Um, Overall, I don't know where I would have been happy sitting in that restaurant. More
I don't
so,
think anywhere.
yeah, I don't think anywhere. I think the vibes were off the second we walked in.
There was going to be a problem wherever we were seated, to be honest with you. But at least we were in the back room this time because if you listen to last episode in the corner store, we were in a very weird location. At least we got to be in the vibey back room. So Josh had an issue from the start with this place
Hmm.
because he assumed we were going to get a bad table. We get seated under this tree. So this is a little embarrassing. So I was like, guys, I'm going to get a martini because that's a cool vibe. And I've actually never had a martini before.
Crazy that you're getting your first martini at Il Cantinori.
Have you had a martini prior to that?
I have had a martini at in Syracuse, New York. I actually forget the name of the restaurant, but it was in Syracuse, New York, and it was
Okay.
disgusting.
So I ordered it, get it. I'm gagging. I did not know a martini is just straight up alcohol.
Hmm. See, but you know this about me. I can drink straight up bourbon, no problem, but like those kinds of hard liquors are very hard for me to have.
So immediately I'm like, okay, this is going to be a disaster. I already hate my drink. This is gross. Everyone's laughing at me because everyone's like, how did you not know this? So I'm struggling to get down my martini. And then we thought we were going to get bread right away. So we sit there for like 15 minutes. No one came over. And I guess we had to ask for the bread. And the waiter, do you remember he started freaking out that we didn't have it?
Well, they also put like a weird, I don't know what it's called, to
Oh my God, the
like a weird
tomatoes.
red sauce, like tomato. It was good, but I wasn't
Right.
really sure what it was.
And you couldn't really eat it without bread unless you love tomatoes.
Yeah. The
So
bread was
yeah,
good. The bread was fine. It wasn't anything special, but they finally came over with the bread.
yeah, like
20
15
minutes
minutes after we get these tomatoes that whatever, we don't know what that dish was.
in. No.
So we're not happy at this point. So then we ordered the food. We were really excited. We heard such great things. We ordered the charred octopus, burrata, pasta sampler, chicken parm, pappardelle, chocolate flourless cake,
Yeah.
and the tiramisu. So we are gonna briefly run down the list of items we got and what we thought.
I was so disappointed in the charred octopus. You know, I knew it was grilled, and I really love grilled octopus, especially the older I've gotten. I've gotten away from fried calamari. It got to the point though where it was burnt, not charred, and I didn't like that. I really felt like I was eating like straight off the grill. Shout out to Mediterraneo. in the Upper East Side. They have a really good charred octopus, and it tastes more like a. It's hard to describe, but it tastes more like a grilled chicken with like some lemon. That's what I was expecting at Il Cantinori, just on another level because of all the things I had heard about this restaurant. I was like, this is going to be some really, really good octopus. It ended up being a little chewy. Um, it really tasted like it was overcooked. Very disappointed in the octopus.
See, I would never order charred octopus. That's not really my vibe, I
Hmm.
guess. I don't think that's really what I would have chose, but you guys really wanted it. It tasted really burnt, and I did not like it.
No, it was not good. It
That's all
was
I
not
got to
good.
say, but I didn't think I was gonna like it to begin with, and I wouldn't order it, so I'm not one to speak on it.
What did you think about the burrata?
It was really good. Not that memorable to me.
No, not memorable because I don't really remember it while we
I
talk
actually
about
don't
it
remember
today.
it at all, but I would remember if I thought it was bad.
I agree. I agree. But now we're going to get into the mains. And these are the things that I was most excited for on Belly when you looked at the photos. Everyone was getting the pasta sampler. So I was like, okay, this must be the marquee dish that they sell. This must be
Mhm.
the best thing that they have. And we got it.
So
And Gabby, it
disappointing.
was so mediocre. I was really disappointed.
Me too. I really didn't like it.
I also felt like the portion was kind of small. Like, I don't know if it's meant to be ordered for one person, but obviously we shared it among four. And I don't think it was enough pasta for four people.
I didn't like it. I remember thinking the pesto one was super dry.
Yeah. I feel like I have this vision now because Lilia is one of my favorite restaurants in New York, and I know they make a lot of specialty pastas. I feel like whenever I go to other Italian restaurants, I'm expecting that level of quality in the pasta, and the pasta just didn't seem like it was homemade. I felt like it's kind of like pasta you get at a supermarket and they just boiled it. It
Mhm.
really was such a letdown. Really
Yeah,
like a tremendous letdown. And I think that's what the pasta sampler and the chicken parm, which we'll get to in a second, are what ultimately led to my 7.9 on Belly.
it's a
Uh,
5. It's average.
I gave it in the sevens. I felt like that was appropriate for the experience. Like it wasn't the worst Italian meal I've ever had, but it wasn't my favorite.
I'm
It
not
wasn't
going
good.
back there.
No,
Let's go move on to the chicken parm.
yeah.
Not it. It was not
Also
it.
mediocre. Yeah.
I like a really saucy chicken parm, and I think there wasn't that much sauce on it.
I just felt like that chicken parm was like something I could have made at home. There was
Hmm.
no redeeming quality about it that I was like, wow, like I can only get this here. And I think
Or like a
that encompasses,
frozen aisle at Whole Foods
yeah, like that kind of
or
encompasses
pre-made.
how I feel about the whole meal. The chicken parm is just so bleh. Like
I don't even remember it.
I remember thinking that like it's fine. Like it tasted fine, but it wasn't special.
Yeah.
And but that's how I feel about a lot of things when I eat, but specifically this chicken
But
parm.
we were really excited for it. So that's why it was just really sad when we took a bite and we were like, oh, this is what the
Yeah.
hype is about, huh? Then the next dish, which I actually liked this one, is the pappardelle. I don't know if I'm
This was
saying
the
that
best
right.
dish. This was the best dish of the night.
It was vodka sauce vibes, which you guys will get to know very well. When I go to a pasta place, like I'm such a vodka sauce girl. That is my favorite dish of all time, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So I have a really hard time going to some pasta places that are known to be really good, but then they don't have the vodka sauce. So like if the cacio e pepe is the start of the show, like I'm probably not happy about it. So this dish actually was really good.
And we're seeing that more with New York City restaurants is I feel like they're becoming less red sauce focused and more
They
into these
are.
specialty pastas, like the Engelatis and the cacio e pepes of the world. Those are like the bulk of these restaurants. The Mises, the Lilias,
Yeah,
the
I'm not
Cucina
happy
Novas.
about that. You like that though.
I do like that. I like red sauce pastas a lot, but they're kind of the same. The sauce has to be killer for it to be amazing.
I don't know. So yeah, so this was very vodka sauce vibes. And the problem is, right, four people don't like all the food. This is the one dish everyone likes.
Yeah.
We finished the whole thing in a second.
I want to get to the desserts because I think this is the most interesting part of the whole meal.
Yeah, this is the most interesting part of the whole night.
I actually didn't mind the flourless cake. On the
So I
record,
literally don't remember it. And I know this might be annoying to listen and be like, okay, why are they talking about this restaurant if they don't remember any of the dishes? I just want to say this wasn't that long ago.
you're right. It's just it was a restaurant that I walked down and I was like, meh,
I
that's how it
literally
goes.
don't remember it. So the flavor of
Yeah.
this cake was fine. The tiramisu.
Oh, I remember this one though
Guys,
for sure.
I am going to start us off because I took the first bite of it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that. I have this in my notes. I took a bite and I go, guys, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you talking about? It's the martini. She's nuts. Right? Then you
Yeah.
take your first bite.
And I basically choked on the chocolate powder. They overpowdered it. And I wrote in my belly review, it reminded me of the cinnamon challenge back in 2012 when people were just putting like a bunch of cinnamon in their mouth. They
And they
put
started
so
choking and
much
throwing
cocoa
up.
powder on it. It was insane.
I
Like
think it's espresso
insane.
powder.
espresso pat, whatever it is. I actually thought I was gonna choke. Like
They,
crazy.
we were choking on powder. It's as if we just took a spoonful of this powder and tried swallowing it without water.
I volunteer. If anyone from Il Cantinori is listening, I will gladly run a seminar on how to properly powder your tiramisu because I've made tiramisu a couple times now,
Oh,
and
see, I'm not an expert, but I know that wasn't right.
no, but I've powdered tiramisu I think 3 times now, and I think I know what I'm doing.
I've never had tiramisu where the whole table is choking.
It
It's
was
funny, but sad.
the actual base of the tiramisu was fine. It wasn't great.
Doesn't
It wasn't
matter,
bad, but that alone ruined the whole dish.
right? I think
Yeah,
it's so funny. And El Cantinori, like you really got to figure that out
1,000%.
because
I
someone's
want to
gonna choke and you are gonna
I,
get in trouble.
I want to transition a little bit to the service at El Cantinori.
This is also probably the best part of the story.
I was sitting kind of where the traffic was. You, Jamie, Jillian were kind of like towards closer to the wall. I got bumped into, I got shouldered at least 4 times. The waiters were dropping things. Now, I want to clarify and make
The
something clear.
dropping, yeah.
It mistakes happen in restaurants, and I acknowledge that, and that's not a big deal at all. But when it happens multiple times, I think that's less of a mistake and more of just like
There's a problem.
yeah, like there's a lack of care there maybe. I got shouldered twice. Like not intentionally, but like I think they were just so busy. They were taking on more than they could. They were carrying a lot of dishes. That's another pet peeve of mine is just like don't bite more than you can chew, right? Like carry what you can carry, come back for more. And they were dropping so many things. They dropped a sauce, they dropped cheese, they dropped a fork. I think they dropped
Yeah,
like 3 forks.
to be exact, four things were dropped in the span of us being there. So
Yeah.
the first time you look over and you're like, oh, that sucks, right? That's
Yeah.
embarrassing. The second time you're like, oof, not
And I think
great.
the second time was a red sauce. So that got
Oh,
on
I
the
don't
floor.
remember what exactly fell. Then it happens two more times.
Yeah.
You were dropping four items in the span of us eating here for 2 hours.
I just I felt like they were rushing. That's the vibe I got, especially when they were bumping into me. They were rushing. It felt like they were trying to turn the tables over too quickly. And it's like, relax, take a second. I know it's a Friday night. I know you have a lot of business coming in and you want to keep those tables clean. It's just like airlines, right? I can't believe I'm making a plane analogy. If the plane's not in the air, it's not making money. If the table's empty, not making money. But you got to just slow down a little bit.
But that's not even true because we actually felt like it took an hour to get the check.
We were sitting there for way longer than we should have been. And I guess this
Mm.
contradicts myself a little bit is at a certain point, like if you're the waiter, like you got to put the check down. I like not being rushed, but I also don't like when I feel like they disappear on me and I can't be like, hey, can I get the check? Hey, can I get more water? They just
He
disappear.
disappeared.
He also he had a little bit of an attitude, the waiter.
Yeah, but that's Italian old school vibe, so I actually am okay with that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
You know what I
Interesting.
mean? Like
Yeah.
that's authentic. What?
Okay.
Okay,
Fair.
so our next story is about the cheese. So we were sitting next to the table where the complimentary bread, the like butter, the olive oil, and like the big block of cheese for the pasta dishes was like when they come around to ask if you want cheese and then they like grate it onto your dish. Guys, this is the deal breaker. The waiters with their fingers were picking off pieces of that block of cheese that they were then putting over your pasta. And it happened multiple times.
That feels like a health violation. It does.
I'm speechless because do it in the back. I'm sure lots of sketchy
It
stuff
happens all
happens
the
at
time.
restaurants,
I'm sure it
right?
happens so much.
They're making like a good pasta dish, and the chef's like, "Oh, I'm hungry." Maybe he puts his fingers in your dish and maybe eats a noodle. I'm
Yeah,
sure it happens.
all the
You
time.
are publicly sticking, he wasn't wearing gloves, your fingers into this block of cheese you are then carrying to each table to shave over people's pasta dishes.
Hmm. I think
Gnarly.
Il Cantonori did have an A, but if I were a food inspector and I saw that, I would have to really. I don't know all the rules and regulations, but I would definitely take a step back there.
Shut down.
Yeah, especially for a place like that, right? Like that's a historic restaurant in New York. I just wouldn't expect that. And I know when we saw that happen, our jaws dropped.
And it happened a good three or four times. They were picking at it. It was, I don't know if it was the same guy. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Completely unacceptable. So we wanted you guys to know that if you were thinking about going there. And then this isn't actually hating on them. It's just a trick that we learned that one of our friends learned on TikTok is that you can ask them. They have a complimentary dessert plate actually that you can ask for. You have to ask for it. And it's like a bunch of little desserts. None of it appealed to me, but it is cool that that's like a secret hack you could do.
I didn't think the cookies were that good.
It
on
doesn't
the
matter though. They brought out a variety of things for free and you have to know to ask for it.
Yes, but I don't like that. I wish they just kind of did it. I don't like that you have to know. It feels like if I'm going there, you pull out all the stops for me. I mean, you know how I feel about when I go walk into a restaurant. I want to be revered, but like, come on, just put it on the table. It's fine.
Overall, not to ramble too much about Il Cantinori, we were not fans.
No, no, it was
Don't go there.
disappointing. I have no plans on going back.
None.
If someone tomorrow was like, "Hey, Josh, I'm going to take you for a free dinner at Il Cantinori," I would go, and
Mhm.
maybe they'd be able to redeem themselves. But with my own wallet, I will not be going back.
If yes, it was also okay, last thing, also really expensive.
Very. Yeah.
Was not worth it. There's many other old school Italian places in the city you can go to, like Campagnola, Elio's Bellato. Those are the two that come to mind.
Even like there's a really great place in Union Square or East Village called John's at 12th Street. Very old school vibes.
Yeah.
Chicken parm there, tremendous. Portion size was also double what we got at Il Cantinori.
Plenty of other places you can go. Now we are going to segue over to burgers. Everyone loves a good burger, at least in my opinion. We are going to be talking about Minetta Tavern. Personally, I actually have so much positive things to say about it. I'm excited to talk
I'm
about
glad
it.
we have something positive to talk about on this episode.
However, waitstaff were mean to me, which is always a great story.
Yes.
I guess it's just part of the New York City food scene. Gotta get bullied a little bit.
I haven't had a ton of bad experiences in New York. I've had issues, but for the most part, I've gotten a lot of good service in Manhattan.
Okay, way to be so positive today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I am.
S- So, my cousin and I decided we were going to try to walk into Minetta Tavern in the village and try to get in. If you don't know Minetta Tavern, it is a decently hard reservation to get. It's not like the corner store, but it's not easy. You got to do that a month in advance if you are going to go with the reservation.
Mhm.
And we walked in at 6:30. We were really nervous. At least I was a little bit. And we walked up to what is the lady called standing at the
The
front?
hostess?
Oh my God. Sorry about that. We walked up to the hostess and we said, "Hi, is there any chance we could be seated at the bar or do a walk-in for two people?" And she looks at us and goes, "We're at temporary capacity." Have you ever heard that term before?
No, I have not heard someone say that to me
So
direct.
my blunt personality goes, "What does that mean?"
Hmm.
My cousin was mortified. She goes, she looks at me again. She goes, "It means we're at temporary capacity." And
Why not just say we're at capacity right now?
because
Like,
it's
why?
temporary.
Right. I mean, that happens at every restaurant then, by her
So
logic.
then I go, "Oh, so can we stand behind the bar and wait for a bar seat?" Right? That was a question that made sense in my mind. And she goes, "Temporary capacity is a nice way of saying you can't be here right now."
Wow.
Something along those lines.
Wow.
But she goes, "But you can try coming back." So I guess that's what the temporary meant. So my cousin and I were like, okay. We walked around the village for a little bit. We tried getting into Lord's. I've never been there. Apparently, it was a really good burger. They said it was a 3 hour wait.
Hmm.
So 15 minutes pass, and I go, "Let's go back." And we did. And essentially, what we did is we walked in, we kind of skirted around her because there were a few people waiting to ask her questions. We just kind of booked it left and stood at the bar. Then we asked someone at the bar, "How do you get your name on the bar list?" It's not like a first come first serve situation where
Okay.
like you could just sit. You have to get your name for the bar. This guy looks at us and goes, "You have to ask the hostess to put your name on the bar list." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like we just avoided her. My cousin and I like debate a bit about who has to go up to her because we are both terrified. My cousin loses the debate, so she goes up to the hostess and she goes, "Hi, we were here 15 minutes ago. What's the deal with the bar?" She then yells at my cousin and she goes, "I don't know what's going on anymore. This is ridiculous. You need to go ask the bartender. Please stop asking me." Something along those lines.
Hmm.
But you want to know what I heard from that? That wasn't a no. That
No,
was a yes, right?
no, but I really, in general, I don't like that. Like, it feels like they don't have their
I
stuff
think she
together.
was really overwhelmed and I'm sure she was asked a million times what the deal is.
Unless it's her first day, I just
I don't think it was her
hostess
first
is one of the
day.
most important jobs in a restaurant. You can't get overwhelmed. You have to be even keeled the whole time, especially at popular restaurants like that.
So then I twist her words a little bit, right? So I go up to the bartender with my cousin and I go, "Hi, the nice hostess over there said I should give you my name to be on the bar list. Works like a charm." He goes, of course, it'll only be a 30-minute wait.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God. Like, since she didn't say no, I took that as hell yes. And I basically said to him, she said to give you my name, right?
Yeah.
So we waited 30 minutes. We found a seat actually, like near the window. We kind of sat on the windowsill in the restaurant, waited 30 minutes, got seated at the bar. And other than that, the service is actually phenomenal. Like the guys working the bar, super sweet, super personable. They actually try to get to know you. They ask you if you've been there before. They talked about their families, loved it. And I gotta say, the burger was phenomenal. They have two different burgers. They have the Minetta burger and the Black Label burger. I got the Minetta burger is $31. The Black Label one is 33. The famous one is actually the Minetta burger.
What's the
Well,
difference between the two? Do you know?
it's something about the meat. Yeah, it's a different type of meat.
Hmm.
And I got the Minetta burger. It's phenomenal. It really is.
Better than
Um,
au cheval?
Way better than au cheval. I like a juicy, thick burger though. It's almost medium rare.
Was there like a thick bacon slab on it or no bacon on the
No, I
burger?
also don't like bacon.
I like
It's
that though because a lot of these places are putting bacon on the burger.
So I actually have some fun facts about Minetta Tavern. So they're known for the caramelized onions on top of the burger.
Okay.
Each burger, my cousin who wasn't there told me this. Apparently half an onion is on each burger.
I love onions. So that
I love
actually sounds like a
caramelized
burger I would
onions
love.
too.
Yeah.
And they go through like 600 onions a night.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was great. However, I guess the hostess gave up and started letting everyone in to start crowding the bar. It was
Hmm.
a mosh pit behind me. So I actually had my seat at the bar. There were so many people hovering behind me. I was really trying my best to ignore it. This guy was kept elbowing me and like getting too close. You want to know what I did?
What?
Gave him a little bit of an elbow and pretended it was an
That's
accident.
so you, Gabby. That's
And
so you.
he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Back up. I'm trying to eat
Yeah.
my burger."
Yeah.
And there was fighting going on. Like people were so eager to get a seat. Like this one girl was really funny. She had her name on the list, and this random couple came in. It was not malicious. A couple next to us got up. They sat down, not realizing your name had to be on the bar list.
Hmm.
This girl starts freaking out, gets the bartender, and goes, "Their name wasn't on the list. They just sat down." And then the bartender, instead of like politely asking them to get up, points to her and goes, "She told us your name's not on the bar list," which is kind of weird. They threw
It
her under the
feels
bus.
it feels like this Minetta Tavern has great food, but it does feel like there's a lot to be desired with organization,
It's weird though, because the
from a service
bartenders were great
perspective.
though.
I feel like to be a bartender, you have to be a really good conversationalist.
Right,
Like
but yeah,
that's a
they threw
key
this
part of
girl
the
under the
job.
bus. And essentially, though, the burger was amazing. I gotta say, we were in and out in an hour. They were cranking us through.
How are the fries?
They were great. However, though, if I were to go back, there's one dish that apparently is phenomenal, which makes sense. The French onion soup apparently is to die for. If I were to go back, I would get that. The hostess is mean. Try to avoid her if you can. Maybe just like go straight up to the bar and just lie and say the host told me to put my name on the list.
I haven't been to Minetta Tavern. It's definitely on my list. I think from everything I've seen, I feel like it'll compare to a place like JG Mellon, which I also haven't been to, but I do think it'll be better than Oshaval, which I know you and I went together to Oshaval. Whatever, it is what it is. Like it's not bad. It was
It
good,
was
but
fine.
yeah, nothing. It feels like a burger I get at a lot of places.
And everyone's like, oh, we're the best. We're the best. Minetta's up there.
Have you been to Red Hook Tavern?
Never.
I want to try that burger. That burger is supposed to be very good.
I just hate fighting for my life to try these things. Like the lines, they're like insane.
You wait online sometimes. Like you wait at the corner store, you wait at Minetta. I can't do that. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to just like stand online. Like everyone's like, oh, you should stand online
Hmm.
at Fort Charles for the one table that they give to people who wait. There's no
Oh,
chance
I
I'm
would
doing that.
try.
If I
I
don't
have to
get
be
a
in the mood.
reservation, I'm not going.
I have to like set my whole day up around it.
I've waited in line for Apollo bagels before, and Apollo was great,
Ugh,
but like waiting in line is
that
just
moves
not something I
fast.
want to do. It moves
Yeah.
fast. Yeah, they do a good
There's
job with the
also
line.
some camaraderie that comes with it. You can make friends online.
I don't think that's for me.
Team up. I don't think that's for you too, but I
No,
do
it's
make a good
not.
friend or two online. I get them to follow Instagrams, we
That's good.
kiki.
I think that's a wrap on episode two. Minetta Tavern, Il Cantinori. On one end of the spectrum, you have a very disappointing meal. On the other, it sounds like it was a
Amazing.
success. We're at Fork the City Pod on Instagram. We'll be posting our content every day, clips from our episodes. It's on YouTube at Fork This City Podcast, TikTok at Fork This City. I am your co-host, Josh Einbinder.
And I am Gabby Martin, aka Instagrubs. Thank you so much for listening to us. We really are excited to keep providing more content and give you all the details of the New York City food scene.
We will see you next week.